Hi, so in this lesson we're going to create a PHP page that is going to give you a form, and then when you put the message in the form, so attack at dawn, it will apply a Caesar cipher to it and provide you with a encoded message. So how do we get here? So we have got some HTML. We've got a form. We've got a HTML form up here. We've got a link to a style sheet to make it look pretty. We've got a title stuff. We've got a form HTML form tag with a closing form tag, and the action is sending the data back to itself because this parameter is empty. We're using the get method so we can see the variables being passed. And we've got a form, a text box form called stuff, which we're going to. So stuff is going to fire out and jump back to this page. Okay, now into the PHP. So I'm going to use a global variable. Global variables aren't ideal, really. They're frowned on because. Why are global variables frowned on? Well, one single point of failure, you make the change here, it messes everything else up. But I'm going to use one. So I've got alpha as the alphabet, and I'm going to keep referencing that. Okay, we've got the first function, the chop words up function, which takes a string and turns it into an array of characters and returns that chopped up word into an array. It returns an array called chopped. Okay, I've got another function to number and shift, which takes a character, single character, and it turns it into a number, and then it shifts that number. Okay, so global alpha will enable this function to reach out of itself and grab this variable value. The scope of the alpha variable doesn't normally enter into the function, it has its own namescape inside the function, but we're saying reach out of yourself and grab this variable. Okay, so there's a global variable. We're going to record the length of this alphabet because we could grow it. We could say I want to include capital letters in there, for example. I've only put a few in there, and some punctuation. If we wanted to include punctuation in there. Also makes encoding a bit more complicated. So find out how long this array is. Well, this string is going to be converted into array, but the same difference. The string length of alphabet of the string length of the alphabet before it gets converted. That's interesting, actually. Answer equals string position alpha. So find out what. The letter that was submitted, find out which position it is in this list and return that. So return that number plus the shift. Now this bad boy here, this percentage sign, that's the modulo. So say if I chose Z and the shift was 10, if I added 10 to that, I'd say, hey, I've run out, I can't keep going. So the modulo gets it to circle back. Divide by the length, and it's the remainder when you divide it by the number. Okay, so that helps it loop around. We'll look at modulo. I'll do another tutorial on modulo, so watch that. Okay, so that function turns the character into a number and shifts that number. And then function from number to letter, which takes a number as a parameter, looks at the alphabet and returns the position. It returns the letter based on the number value. So if I said 0, I'd get a lowercase a. Alpha 0 is a lowercase a. Alpha 1 is a b, and so on. So they're my functions. Here we go. In here, if is set. So if someone clicked on the button, so this means that the function won't operate. If someone hasn't submitted something in the form box, this doesn't happen. To stop it from firing off without you submitting the button. So if someone clicks on the stuff button, then do something. And what is that? Test equals get the stuff. So whatever goes into the form box, and when you submit it, it's going to be handled as test. I'm going to turn test into an array, and then for each character in that array, which is going to be described as n, turn that to number and shift. So turn that character into a number and shift it by 2 in this case, and then turn that shifted number into a letter, and then echo that out. I put the echoes out, these p tags outside the loop to so that the text is inside the paragraph tags. Okay, so if I type in an example, I submit example EX, so we're shifting by 2, ABC E F G, yeah, example. So you can see it's been transmitted. Your job is to make a form that you can submit a encoded Caesar word and shift it back. And the other extension task is to create a box that enables you to choose the shift. I hope you accept this mission. Good luck.